your girl, the one and only Ash Said It, ashsaidit.com, ashsaidit.com. Welcome back to the Ash Said It Daily Podcast Show. We appreciate all the love and support, you guys. Yes, we're on the heels of 500,000 streams worldwide. Would not be possible without each and every one of you guys. All your love, all your support, all your shares, everything makes a difference. So thank you, thank you, thank you. 1,000,000 times thank you, or 500,000 thank yous. All right, I'm joined today by performer, dancer extraordinaire, the wonderful Courtney Thomas. Courtney, what's going on?
Hi, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. I know that you just came out of rehearsal, so we snatched you up just in time.
Exactly. No, it's cool. I like it.
Cool beans. All right, Courtney, let our audience know, where are you from? Where do you represent?
I am from Atlanta, Georgia. Right home down south.
Oh, wow. So where are you calling home these days, Courtney?
Right now, I live besides living everywhere in the U.S., I live in New York. My residency right now is in New York. But like I said, I'm a gypsy. I hop everywhere. Yeah. I live in every state.
Cool beans. When did you fall in love with the arts?
I would say in my high school year. I was going into the 10th grade, and I was going to North Atlanta High School. And I met a teacher who one day I signed up for a class, and me not knowing anything, I was like, "What's ballet?" And they're like, "No, it's ballet." I was like, "Oh, I signed up for that." So I took up ballet class, my first ballet class, with a teacher named Tracy Vogt. And from there, I don't know, she saw potential, and I started to like it. I felt like it was something that I wanted to pursue because I'm very head driven, and once I get into something, I'm extremely passionate about it, especially if I enjoy it. So, she saw me and she's like, "Yeah, you got potential, man. Let's see what you can do." So she sent me to a bunch of other places. I was dancing for a studio called Area, which is Atlanta's Resource for Entertainment and Art. And it was under J. McClendon Jones, and I started dancing with her, and she was another one. She was like, "Oh, yeah, potential. You can move. All right, let's put you in this." So they worked tirelessly and endlessly to make sure that I had the best training with them. And then from there, I just felt like this was something that I could see myself doing for the rest of my life. I wanted to study marine biology, which I'm still trying to do on the road, and also do photography and a bunch of other things. And since then, it just became something I knew that I was going to have to do because I wouldn't be full without it.
Isn't it crazy how much we pay for new brand name clothes? Stop driving store to store and sifting through dozens of racks. Shop millions of clothes in seconds on swap.com. Swap.com is the world's largest online consignment and thrift store. With swap.com, you can shop up to 90% off retail price on your favorite brands like Lululemon, Carter's, Nike, J.Crew, and Gap. Between 6,000 to 10,000 new items are added daily. If something doesn't fit, enjoy hassle-free returns within 30 days, no questions. So what are you waiting for? Shop swap.com and use promo code ASHDAILY40 for your 40% off today. So while you were making this transition to something brand new that you've never done before, what were some of the challenges that you faced?
All right. So beyond going to school, being in high school, I lived really far away from my school. So my days would start at 5 a.m. and then they would continue until about 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And from there, I don't know, it was like I would start my days at 5 a.m. in the morning, getting on a bus to go to school. I would sometimes be there way before my doors were open in school, and it was the winter time, so I would stand outside waiting to get into school. I would go into school, do my regular school day with dance being involved in school, then go after school to dance classes and rehearsals while still doing homework. And since I was on scholarship, there were certain duties that scholarship kids had to do. And at that time, I was the only scholarship kid, so I was cleaning studios, cleaning mirrors, which for me, gave me a better perspective on what I did, because if this was something that I was truly aiming for, I had to go through the hard work to do it.
Yeah.
So my days wouldn't end until about 10 or 11 at night, and I would be at home at about 1 in the morning, and start my day the next day doing the same thing. So there's a lot of dedication and a lot of hard work with that, and then keeping your grades up in school, because once again, you have a job outside of your job.
Yes, wow. And how did you hear about the Lion King audition?
It was funny. So I was telling myself, I've loved Disney my entire life. I'm a huge Disney kid. And like, I'm a big fan of it. I love it. So I've always enjoyed Lion King, and I've always admired it from a distance. I never saw myself doing anything musical theater, ever. I just strictly wanted to dance. And I moved to New York because I wanted to audition for some companies or some things out in New York, take class. And my mentor was like, "Hey, they're auditioning for Lion King." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." He was like, "Guess where they're auditioning?" I was like, "Where?" It was like, "Your hometown." I just moved to New York, and I had to fly home to go audition for the show. Wow. So he helped me get a plane ticket. I flew down for 1 day, auditioned with 90 to 100 plus guys.
Wow.
Made it to the very end, and what's crazy about these shows is that you don't audition for a spot. You audition for a spot on the waiting list. So they tell you, after these auditions, you never say, like, "I made my audition to have a job." You say, "I made my audition, now I just have to wait." It's a waiting game. So they told us within 6 to 12 months, if they don't call you, come back and audition again.
Wow.
And it's just kind of like that.
Wow.
So I auditioned, and I waited for about, December. I auditioned. I found out in January, "Hey, we want you to join the tour."
So what were your thoughts, like, right after the audition? Did you think, that you nailed it?
So for me, I don't know. When I first got through the audition, I was like, "Yes, I finally, made it to the end of the audition. This is, a goal of mine." So my biggest goal was just to make it to the end. And we did the singing. So after they said thank you, it was good to see you and the other guy that I was auditioning with. They said, "It was good to see you guys." And I was like, "Great." And we talked for a minute. I had dinner with some friends. And they were asking me, "What's going through your mind?" And I was just like, "I'm just glad that I made it through." I was so nervous. And we started our day at 7 a.m. in the cold. And we were standing outside. And I'm like, "Look, I just don't want that to be in vain. I don't want this plane ticket to be in vain."
Yeah.
I probably missed something else. So I was just more proud of the fact that I was able to hold my own in an audition, rather than, because like they say, you wait 6 to 12 months and you just never know.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, if I make it, I make it. If I don't, keep going, So.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, so we're in January. You got the spot, and everything is starting. You're starting to get the materials. You're starting to study. What was your take on maybe the first run through?
So when I first got to the show, it was about February. They took me to, it was crazy how it happened. Everything happened in 2 weeks. They said, I was in middle class, and they said, "Hey, so we want you to join the tour." The next week, I was out on the road. They introduced me to the cast, and I'm still not fully grasping on what I just got myself into. I watched the show that night and could not stop bawling. It's such a powerful show. It's such a powerful, it has such a powerful message, especially being in the time that we're in right now. It's so prevalent.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started my rehearsals, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is rough." It's a high energy, high octane show, and it's a show that has high risk injuries. So I was telling myself, you have to be responsible. Being on the road, it's so easy to fall into a routine, and to lose track of how to treat your body. So when I did my very first run through, we have these things called put-ins, where you are the only person in costume, and everyone else has a theme. So I think for my put-in, it was a nerd day theme. So I had people just as Steve Urkel, or just as cool geeks, and I'm sitting here in a full zebra costume, okay. But I did my first run through without an audience, and then that night I had my first show. And I don't know, my first show, I could not hold it together on stage at all. I cried after every scene. Every time I walked off stage, I was in tears. I was like, I'm just so happy. I just want to be here. But after that, I don't know. It's not even work to me now. It's going to play. It's going to have fun. It's going to be something else for 3 hours. And every show since my first show, there are moments that I have with cast members on stage, even with this new company. I have certain moments on stage that just make what I do worthwhile. Or I look in the audience and I see a kid in the front row, or I see some kids in the second or third row, and I'm looking and I'm just like, wow, we're really touching people. And for me, it's like, when you do these shows, it's the first time someone's going to see it, and it's the last time someone's going to see it. It can be someone's first or last. So how will you impact them that day? That's what I tell myself before every show. Before, when I feel like I'm falling into a dark place or I'm feeling a little funky, I tell myself, what are you going to bring to the stage today that's going to touch someone? Because you just never know who will be that, what spark you can give someone to light the candle inside of their heart, to either have them pursue this or to help someone get over a loss, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you have any aspirations when, jumping back into when you first started and when you were doing your training, did you ever see yourself on Broadway?
I never know.
Wow.
I didn't really see past class. I just saw myself dancing. I said, I don't care where it is, I don't care what I'm doing, as long as I'm dancing. I wanted to do TV work for a while, and it's still in the back of my mind. And I wanted to do companies. Netherlands Dance Theater is one of my favorite companies. And I've danced with people who've danced around that sort of training. Right. So I just know I wanted to be a mover. I wanted to move. I wanted to dance. I wanted to make this a career. And I had no idea how that would happen. And I never gave much thought to it until I got older, or until I got out of high school. And I was like, oh, so you can either work retail or you can keep training, so that way somebody picks you up and they say, hey, come with me, we want to put you here. No, there was not much aspiration. I mean, there was aspiration, but there was also the reality of, you still have to have that hard work. You still have to push, because it's a competitive business. It's a competitive industry.
Absolutely. And I'm sure that it could break people. And I know that it's broken so many hopefuls that, like you said, you're going against hundreds of other people that were up for these slots, and the fact that you actually made it, that speaks volumes about what they see in you and what you add to the table.
Exactly. I was telling a friend, it doesn't matter if when we go into auditions, I try not to look at anyone. I put my blinders on, because there's always going to be someone better than you. There's always someone better than you. You can, and there are qualities that you have that are better than someone else. What are those qualities those are the qualities that are going to shine through in your audition? What qualities do you have that will bring your light out in the audition room? You know what I mean? What will make people see you? And it's not, copying off of someone else, because they've seen it, they see it, and they saw it.
With every performance being different, touring the nation, touring the world, really, and every performance is different, what do you want audiences to take from this production?
I want them to take away there are 8 shows a week that are happening, so no performance is going to be the same at all. We're in a new venue every month. Every 2 or 3 weeks, we're in a new venue. What you see on stage, for the most part, will stay the same. Our real choreography and our real struggle comes backstage, when you have to change theaters and you have to figure out how to get through the house or the audience, or backstage you have to navigate your way through that part. So it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of fun, but at the same time, it's extremely difficult, and it's manageable. You can do it, and for the most part, anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. I never saw myself making this happen, and now that I do it every month, I'm like, this is doable. You can live and entertain and perform, whether it's through dance, whether it's through acting, whether it's through singing, heck, whether it's through controlling lighting or sound or any other thing that you do. I've been fortunate enough to travel to some cities and teach a couple of workshops, and meet kids who are like musical theater kids, but they're not traditional musical theater. They say, well, I want to work on lighting. I want to work on sound. What about your stagehands? What do they do? And I'm like, we pick up locals along the way to help work our show. And even with that, it's like, it takes a team. It really takes a unit. It's not an individual person. You're on stage, yes. You have moments, you have spotlights, you have whatever, but really, in all honesty, it's a team. It's all a team. It's never you alone. Yeah.
Last but certainly not least, what advice do you have for any theater hopefuls? I'm talking to people that are looking to you. They're like, wow, Courtney, he came from Atlanta. He came from my city, and he's doing what I want to do. And I want to be in that realm. I want to jump into the industry. I want to be on Broadway. What advice?
Do it. Just do it. And get used to hearing no, because there will be a lot of those. Mm-hmm. There will be a lot of those, or not right now, but that doesn't mean no just means next opportunity. Right. That's what my dad tells me. No literally means next opportunity. It's just at that moment in time in life that wasn't yours. Don't give up. You're going to hear many no's before, or you may hear no no's. You just never know. The best thing to do is whatever you do, go and give it your all. Give it 100% of who you are and be genuine with it, because it shows. And casting directors look for that. And another thing is, when you go into auditions, throw away the nerves. And I know that's easier said than done, but the people who are conducting the auditions, they're not there to judge you at all. They want to invest in you. They're looking for you. You just have to imagine that and take that into your heart before you go in, because you have, I know a lot of times you're in and you're like, oh God, they're going to judge me. They're going to see this. They're looking for that. They know that it's not going to be perfect. You're learning whatever you're learning in such a small time, in such a small space. What they want to see is that you can come in and you can be someone that they can invest their time, their money, and basically their livelihoods, because they're putting it all out there for you. So the only thing you can do is be the item that they want to purchase. You can be the shiny new toy that they want to have in their ensemble. You know what I mean? So you just have to go in with a clear head, a clear heart, and a clear mind. Have ambitions, have goals, look at movies, research, study, look at shows that are out now. Stay training, keep going with your training, because even now on the road, I'm still training, I'm still dancing. Whatever city I go to, I'm finding a ballet class, or I'm finally finding an acrobatics class, or whatever I need to do to better myself. But yeah, just push forward and go for it. Life's too short to play scared and have fear. Fear is something that you create.
Definitely. Courtney, thank you so much for your encouraging words. I'm sure someone somewhere on this earth needed to hear those words specifically from you. So thank you for that. When is opening night for The Lion King?
First show is on January 10th.
And where can people go to reserve their tickets?
So you can either go to Ticketmaster. I know we're at the Fox Theater. You can go to the Fox Theater's website, and we should have a tab that says The Lion King. Or you can go to lionking.com, and then go to get tour tickets. And then you can go follow the steps from there, find your city or wherever you're closest to. Click that little box. It'll drop down a schedule, and you can just pick whichever show you want to see. Look out for the giraffes.
We appreciate that. And thank you guys for downloading the show. We love you guys so very much. Anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face and tell them, don't believe me, just watch. Watch what I do.
Just watch me.
Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. Because that's what we're doing this for. We're doing this for the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.
Yes, it is.